Well, Joe, it was another great show here at the O. January 1st, 2014. I'm sorry, January 4th, 2014, and I can't believe it's our first show of the year, and it's our anniversary show. It's been 1 year since we started commentating here at the O.
That's right, PK. For once, you got your facts straight. And I'll tell you something, PK. We had a great night, great matches, great results, and some pretty strange twists.
Well, Joe, it's always a great show here at the O. In the beginning of the show, we had a contract signing between Taco and Z for, of course, our New Year's knockout at the next show.
Our New Year's squash, more like. I'll tell you something, PK, right now. Taco Grande, he stole that title from the Monster Z. And I'll tell you something, when that match happens, Z's going to steal it right back. Well, and I can't wait to see that.
Well, Joe, it was real interesting because, Clint Eller calls him out and he says, hey, look, y'all don't put hands on each other. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the contracts are signed, which I'm surprised Z can write his name. I mean, it's just one letter, but still I was surprised. Oh. But then he comes out and he gets in Taco's face. And then Chad Silva comes out and gets in his face, so Chad Silva starts going at it. Well, then all of a sudden, the cameraman starts going at it Chad Silva. Turns out the cameraman was Alex Diamond Decker, and turns out he and Chad Silva are actually brothers.
That's right, PK. And he sees how weak and pathetic that Chad Silva is. He started laughing when Chad Silva started talking big as usual, and he sees his true colors. And I'll tell you something right now. I couldn't wait to see those two meet up in the ring.
Well, Joe, I'll tell you something. Not only are they set to wrestle at our New Year's Knockout at our next show, but they also got to meet each other in a match because basically Clint Eller could see all the tension. He said, okay, fine. Z, you team up with Decker. Taco, you team up with Silva, and we're going to have a tag team match for our main event tonight. And man, what a great main event it was, and we'll get to that later. Then our first match was supposed to be Ninja King versus Wasabi. So Ninja King, he comes out, and dude, I'm looking forward to this, because I'm like, man, Wasabi's finally going to meet the Ninja King in the ring. Oh, and what happens? The Ninja King calls out his assassin, and who was it?
Well, I'll tell you, man, I'll tell you who it was. It was Curtis Coleman.
Stay fresh.
Stay fresh. And I'll tell you something. He was taking care of Wasabi, no problem.
I'll tell you something. It was a great match. And then, Curtis Coleman, he went from the top rope to do a leg drop onto Wasabi, and Wasabi had enough wherewithal, because he was getting handed to him at that point, to roll out of the ring.
That's right.
Well, the Ninja King comes in, he starts consoling Coleman, and then all of a sudden, he does a clothesline on Coleman, knocking him down. Wasabi comes in the ring. He kind of looks confused as to what happened. Well, then all of a sudden, Wasabi goes, and is while he's still looking around, Coleman's able to get up, so Wasabi does a spinning roundhouse kick, knocks him out, and gets the pin.
Yeah, that's right, and that's the only way he was ever going to get that victory.
Well, Joe, I am looking forward to that's another match that we're going to be talking about later for our next show. Anyways, then we had El Pollo del Diablo versus Matt Devlin. Now, this was Matt Devlin. This is the first time he's been in a singles match in a while, because he's the tag team champion with his dad, CeCe Devlin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I couldn't wait to see that one. He didn't have Daddy backing him up this time. And I'll tell you something. I couldn't believe what happened towards the end of that match. I mean, El Pollo del Diablo came up from Mexico just doing a number on that kid. I was so glad to see that. But then what happened? Disorderly conduct comes out.
Yeah, well, first this blonde-haired chick comes out. I still don't know who she is. She comes out, distracts the ref. Disorderly conduct comes in and basically wreaks havoc on both Matt Devlin and El Pollo del Diablo. But in the end, El Pollo del Diablo is laying down on his back. They pull Devlin on top of him. It was like, what are they trying to send? What kind of message are they trying to send?
That really got me confused, PK, because I'll tell you something. I wonder if there's something going on between disorderly conduct and Matt Devlin.
Well, I was kind of wondering too, Joni. It doesn't take much to get you confused. But anyways, I'm kind of curious to see how the Devlins are going to defend their title at the next show because, technically CeCe's still out because of an injury, and we've got the Devlins here today to talk about it. So, Joe, maybe you can ask Matt if he's got something going on with disorderly conduct. Well, CeCe, once again, great to see you here in the recap, and as well, you, Matt.
Welcome back, CeCe. And Matt, I got to ask you. What was going on between you and disorderly conduct?
I don't know. They come out of nowhere. Out of the blue.
Did you plan something with them, or?
No.
Because it looked like y'all were kind of working together, and it's kind of surprising because I know you guys have had beef in the past.
Look, first of all, who says we got a title shot?
Well, I was just telling you, at the next show, it's supposed to be you guys facing disorderly conduct. So I'm kind of wondering, with your injury and stuff, what your plan is.
What do you want to do?
You're injured. I'm going to step up and take on disorderly conduct by myself.
So you want to go like a handicap match? Is that what you're saying?
All right, I like it.
Look, listen. You ain't got to do all that. We can find you a partner.
I don't need no partner. I can do this by myself.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Well, CC, do you think you'll be well enough to wrestle at the on the 18th?
Yeah, what's your solution?
We started out, you guys heard, I'm medically cleared. I don't know what's going on with OSWA, why they're not clearing me. Okay? I understand they want to, I get it, okay? They're looking out for me. I get all that, okay? And I appreciate that. Don't think that I don't. But when I've got documentation saying I'm medically cleared, why am I not being allowed in the ring to defend our tag team titles? That's something I don't get. But there's nothing I can do. The upper guys say I can't do it, so I can't do it. The kid here wants to step up, take him on. I don't like it. I'll go on record right now saying that I don't like that idea because it's going to be 1 against 3. You know I can't do anything because they're not going to let me. And you think I can trust anybody else?
No,
Exactly.
I can take them.
Well, I got to admit, there's a lot of confidence here from young man Davlin. And I'll tell you something, I wish you the best. If you do wind up going to a handicap match against disorderly conduct, you're going to have to be on your game, kid, 100%. I know your dad's your trainer, and I know he's got plenty of experience. He can get you in there. And who knows, maybe between now and then, Clint and the others and the other brass will clear you, and you'll all be good to go. But I appreciate you all coming, and I wish you all the best. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Cece?
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Come with me. Come here.
Got a
Boy,
feeling.
Beaky, I don't know about that one. I don't know, maybe if CC, if he's medically clear, maybe we should just let him duke it out.
Well,
Maybe
Joe,
we should just let him team up with his son and go up against disorderly conduct.
well, I think Ben Cartwright's going to give Big Hoss a little advice, and that might not be a bad idea. Well, then after that, we had, Zach Blaine and Hollywood in a handicap match versus Mystic Storm. Now, Joe, this always blows me away because why can't Zach Blaine just fight the guy one-on-one and just be done with it? Because if he, he's not deserving of a chance, why does he just go ahead and give it to him? Because obviously the OSWA brass thinks he's up to the task. Why doesn't he go ahead and just wrestle him one-on-one and see what can happen?
Hey, well, I'll tell you something. You know what? That's an interesting question. Why don't I change that question right around? Why? Maybe it was Mystic Storm who wanted to take the both of them on. I mean, he's not known as the sharpest knife in the drawer. Who knows? Maybe he wanted to prove his manhood or whatever. But I'll tell you something. It doesn't matter. The point is, he went in there and he got his butt kicked by the show.
Well, Joe, he got his butt kicked by guys that were in the show that were not in the match. Because what happened was, he had done an Eye of the Storm and was setting up to do a supernova kick, when all of a sudden Rod Bolt attacks him from behind, and then the whole show just go at him to the point where they were getting ready to break his neck by using a chair when OSWA officials finally came in and broke it up. And even then, it looked like it was still going to happen.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I'm glad. You know what? I'll tell you something. To be in this federation, to be in this promotion, you got to have a certain amount of grit. And if he can't take a beating from the show, then he might as well just leave the arena and go home where it's safe.
Well, Joe, then after that, it'll be, actually, I got to say this, it will be interesting to see what's going to happen with the next show because he wasn't looking right when he left here. I know he might be going to Big Chad's, reflexology healing path, but I'll tell you something. It might not happen even then because he's been serious. I think he's been seriously injured, and I'm beginning to wonder if he's going to be at the next show to fight Blaine. But it's still on the card, and I'll tell you this much I do know about Mystic Storm. If he can fight, he will be here, folks.
He'll be here, but I'll tell you something. It's still going to be Zach Blaine having his hand raised in victory.
Well, Joe, then we had Zach Daniels and Rod Bolt going against the tag team specialists of Alpha McFly from the future and Jake Hughes. And I'll tell you something, what a great match, man. There's a lot of back and forth action. Zach Daniels, I have to admit, I was a little impressed by him.
You gotta be.
Well, I was mainly impressed because Joey's obviously secure in his manhood. He was wearing shorts that matched the color of Barney the Happy Dinosaur.
You know what, that's your problem, always going off on these sophomoric antics and all this banter.
Joe, I was complimenting him.
It doesn't matter what you think. and what he dresses like. The point is, he's one of the greatest wrestlers to ever lace up his boots and get into the squared circle.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Barney Panties was hashtag and trending worldwide and was being chanted here in the audience. So, hey, I applaud him for his security and manhood. But anyways, it was a good back and forth match. But, of course, in the end, Hughes and McFly, they did a double flapjack slam on Rod Bolt. And then, Jake Hughes does a moonsault. And then Alpha McFly does a swanton bomb right after the other, bam, for the win. And it was a great win.
Yeah, they ought to relish in their victory now that they eked out a victory against the show. So I'll guarantee you it ain't going to happen again.
Well, Joe, then the next match we had Disorderly Conduct versus Brozilla and White Trash. And I'll tell you something, there was an interesting stipulation in this match. Basically, in this match, if Disorderly Conduct loses, the Angry Beaver, Cody McCauley, was going to have his head shaved. And then, but if they won, Clint Eller is now would then be subject to Cody McCauley's whims as to which job he was going to do at the next show.
And I knew I didn't worry one bit during that match. I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Joe, I'd like to replay your commentary because quite the opposite. You were a little bit worried.
No, I wasn't worried at all. See, that's your spin. I knew that Cody McCauley was going to walk off with this long flowing hair and he's going to be bossing Clint around, and I can't wait to see that.
Well, Joe, I'll tell you something. It was a great match. It really was. But, of course, once again, this blonde chick, who I have no idea what she's doing out here, gets up on the ring apron. There's some triple team action. And ultimately, the Angry Beaver. And
it's not
I'm sorry.
Beaver.
Cody McCauley, Will Caution, and Keith Cage wind up with the victory.
That's right. They got the victory, and that's all that matters, PK. The only problem is, the one thing that kind of bums me out is that...
What bums you out, Joe? I really want to know.
Well, Cody McCauley...
And all these fans want to know what bums you out.
Of course they do.
Let's have a moment.
Because Cody McCauley's
Dr. Phil wants to know what bums you out, Joe. You got 6 minutes. Go ahead.
Shut up, PK. The point is, Cody McCauley's taking my job because I'm the one who tells Clint Eller what to do. That's right.
So, am I going to be commentating with McCauley next week? Oh, gosh, I hope not. Anyways,
Holy
then our main
shut
event
up.
was, of course, the Monster Z and Alex Diamond Decker versus Chad Silva and Taco. And, man, what a great match.
Yeah, what a great match it was. I saw the Monster Z and Alex Diamond Decker just pounding on the both of them.
And I'll tell you something, Joe, there is no love lost between Taco and Z and Chad Silva and Z. And I'll tell you something, I didn't know that Alex Diamond Decker and Chad Silva were brothers until tonight. And man, those two guys, I think we look like the Partridge Family and how we get along compared to them. They look like Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something, it was a great match. I was so glad I was able to see that. Because I'll tell you something, it was great to see that little Tijuana sewer rat, Taco Grande, get his butt kicked. And also the other, Chad Silva, I don't even care, I don't even know his name. But anyways, the point is...
Obviously. Well, anyways, so then Z gets enziguried by Chad Silva. Well, at this point, I'm just going to call it the match, okay? Alex Diamond Decker comes in with a chair, swings and a miss, and then Silva picks it up and hits him and gets disqualified, thus handing the victory to Z and to Alex Diamond Decker. But then the fight that happened afterwards, both guys, Alex Decker and his brother Chad Silva, fought all the way out of the ring and all the way out up the ramp and into the parking lot. And you know what? Same thing happened to Taco and Z, but unfortunately, I have to admit, Z was really bringing it to Taco. Taco was not faring out the last time I saw him.
Of course not. I think that's just a precursor to what we're going to see at New Year's Knockout. So I'll tell you something right now. That's going to be happening in 2 weeks, and I can't wait to see those matches and see all those great wrestlers that I talk about and cheer on, to get their victory and maintain their gold and get more gold.
I'll tell you something, Joe. It'll be on January 18th here at the O Arena. This is who we've got. This is the card for the New Year's Knockout as it stands right now. We got Taco versus Z. Man, talk about a grudge match. We've got Wasabi versus Ninja King, and I hope this time Ninja King actually wrestles and faces Wasabi.
Of course he will.
We've got Zach Blaine, the track star, versus Mystic Storm. Man, I hope Mystic Storm heals up, and I hope he's able to be here. Then we got the Devlins versus Disorderly Conduct. Man, if it's a handicap match by Matt Devlin, and he winds up keeping the titles, what a slap in the face to the Angry Beaver, Will Cautious, and Keith Cage. Then, of course, we got Chad Silva versus his brother, Alex Diamond Decker, and I mean, it's like brother on brother. It's almost like, brother versus brother, like the Civil War. And I'm looking forward to the next show. Fans, you can follow us on oswaentertainment.com, Facebook/OSWA Entertainment, YouTube.com/OSWA Entertainment, and you can catch our recaps and get caught up. And also, we sometimes post videos of things to come, so you can always keep up with us here at the O. Joe, I can't believe it's been 1 year. It's been a great experience. I enjoy it. You enjoy it. you get to sit next to me and soak in my greatness, and I get to sit
gosh.
next to you and get hay fever from your feathers.
What?
Thank you, fans, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.